Bananas, orange, sugar, and water. I'm a happy man. Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much. Anyway, you saw the thumbnail. I don't like to do this, but that's what's going on in the world and all this sort of stuff. But Andy Reid, the highly successful, decorated coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, just a brilliant football mind. I mean, he's been at it for 30 some odd years. He's been in 5 Super Bowls, 1 with Philadelphia, 4 with Kansas City, and won 3 of them. I mean, he's in rarefied air. You got Belichick up at the top. But the next group is, Chuck Noll at 4 Super Bowl wins. Bill Walsh at 3. I mean, he's first ballot Hall of Fame. He's a brilliant football savant. He just is. But as you saw the thumbnail, one thing will stop him, and that's his health. Now, I am in awe of his football acumen and how great he does. I mean, even though he never got a Super Bowl ring at Philadelphia, I mean, there was like 10 years in a row. They were right in the playoffs and, conference championships and just never quite got it done. But, I mean, he's first ballot. And he's the all-time leading winner among coaches. More than Belichick, the whole 9 yards. Extraordinary. Anyway, he's been morbidly obese his whole life. He has had heart issues. He used to, I'm not sure if he does it, he used to smoke cigarettes. A lot of people have come up that work with him and know him and just absolutely worry about him. I guess you can hear him breathing, in the next room. He's walking around with a cane. His knees are shot. I mean, this guy, everybody talks about the immortality of, catching Belichick and all. He's not going to last. At this, he's not going to last. He absolutely 1,000% is not going to last. Now, this, I'm guessing, he does have heart issues. He's been taken to the emergency ward several times from practice and all this, feeling dizzy and all this sort of stuff. He does absolutely have heart issues. Now, he doesn't have to tell us all about this. He doesn't owe us anything, but there are I'm sure he has heart disease. Guys, when you are that obese for that long, everything else comes into play. Now, I can almost guarantee you, and I don't know this for sure, but I can almost guarantee he takes blood pressure meds. And I can almost guarantee, at the very least, he is pre-diabetic with elevated, cholesterol and all that, if not full-fledged insulin type 2 diabetes. I mean, that's just, and if he's not all those, heart disease, hypertension, and type 2 diabetes, if he doesn't have them yet, he will. He will. I'm surprised. I mean, he can barely walk. I'm surprised he can stand up for the length of a football game. At some point, if he continues like this, he's going to be in a wheelchair with oxygen and coaching, I mean, it's sad to see. And the fact of the matter is, I believe he had the lap band surgery as well. And as you see, I mean, lap band surgery is not going to help you at all if you just keep eating the way you are. You're just going to, the body in its infinite wisdom adjusts, and the colon gets bigger, and stomach and all this sort of stuff, and you just stretch out what was left after cutting it away. Now, he is a big guy. He's 6'3", okay? But he is well over 300 pounds. Guys, he's at least 150 pounds overweight. At 6'3", if he was in optimal health for a guy his age, lifted some weights and did a little running on the treadmill and all this sort of stuff, he should be weighing in about 200 pounds. 200 pounds. But the high stress of the whole thing, I mean, guys, it's not going to last. It is not going to last. And I don't want to be the bearer of. I respect him. I think it's wonderful that in his profession, and to have that sort of a talent. I mean, I'm a musician, so you talk about Luciano Pavarotti, whose career was cut short. He died way too young. He was morbidly obese his whole life. I mean, this is just a given. This guy's this. It's not me making these crazy predictions. This is what happens when you are this heavy for this long. Okay, so enough said. What would I do? Simple. Depending on how badly his pancreas and the insulin sensitivity and all that sort of stuff, depending on where it's at, and how badly his arteries are clogged, and there is partial clog, there just is. Depending on how bad that is. Now, if you are that arteries and everything are that full of fat, you can't just so all of a sudden overload them with sugar and starches and carbs and all that sort of stuff, because then you just order your EpiPens. You have to get to a point where the fat levels, cholesterol levels and everything, come down to a workable degree, and then you start slowly adding in the fruits and the sugars and the starches. Okay? Now you can do a little bit of it, but basically I would put him on the diet, there's no question. Fruits, veggies, sugar, and starches. Okay? What I would do would be mainly, for the first week, 10 days at least, mainly vegetables. Now, vegetables, their calorie density is such that they don't satiate you. They really don't. Now, you can't starve yourself. Even at that level, you can't be starving yourself. You have to eat, or you're going to binge at some point. You're going to fall off the wagon. Now, that would be hard to do, get that many calories in just vegetables. So, yes, there would be some starches. There would be some, I'd lay off the processed sugar for the time being. And some fruit, no question. But that would be predominantly it. I would go basically veggies and rice and a little bit of fruit for the time being. 2 weeks, you go get your blood work and you get it done again. Okay? If it's come down, and it will. This doesn't take long. If he's 63 years old, which he is, and he's been morbidly obese his whole life, it doesn't go away in a month. It just doesn't. This is a long-term thing. But as long as you stick with it, and everything is gradually getting better and better and better, a year from now, yeah, all of a sudden you're down 50 pounds. And you're not starving. You can live with the lifestyle and all this sort of stuff. You're not killing yourself with workouts. You just keep doing it. And 2 years after that, yes, maybe maybe we'd have something at that point. But this is just plain not going to work. And he is, from what I can tell, beloved by all. He seems like a nice guy. He had some terrible tragedies with his sons years ago, and I'm not going to get into that, drug addiction and all that sort of stuff. But yes, you want to look at, everybody's talking about can REID and Mahomes reach Brady and Belichick. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I'm going to do one on Mahomes in maybe tomorrow too. He's not going to reach Brady. He is not going to reach Brady. Anyway, Andy Reid, I'm here for you. You need the sugar rules, but guys, there is one thing stopping the whole thing, and that's Andy Reid's health. More so than any blitz that anybody can put on Patrick Mahomes. It's Andy Reid's health. Okay? Have a great day, guys. Love you all.